If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Story about your son and the lacrosse thing and the hockey thing, and I'll let you introduce him. And he's still here in Baltimore, living in Lutherville.
Is he ever? And he's involved in sports. And you know, I tell everyone he went into a sport, lacrosse, because he was a good hockey player. But I know why he went into lacrosse. Because I never played it. I wouldn't have to coach him and tell him what to do. And I think that just tells you how smart he is. So here he is, my son. He's coaching.
What do you have to say for yourself on this whole thing, man?
Well, actually, you know, at the time when we moved here from Sault Ste. Marie in 1983, I did not want to come. I was pretty comfortable in Sault Ste. Marie. You know, changing schools, moving across to another country wasn't something that was really appealing to me. But
this is what was your life, though. This is what Dad did, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I guess that's the one thing that always gets forgotten is that when Dad changes jobs, the kids go. The kids go, and in sports, you're going to change jobs. There's always going to be a change in your department.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you though, since I've been here, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not thankful that you know, he brought us here, because Baltimore's been very good to me. And you know, when we settled down here, I went to Boys Latin, and it's funny because usually everyone will tell you there's one coach in your life. You know, and I've been fortunate to have two. Obviously, everything I've learned about coaching, as far as philosophy, I tailed around the rinks and learned a lot from my dad. And then got handed off over at Boys Latin and met Bobby Shriver, who I coach lacrosse with today. And boy, they're like two of the same guys. So it was a pretty seamless transition for me.
Let's talk about coaching philosophy a little bit, Gene, because you know, for you, as you said, you wish someone would have given you a hug in 1958 and said this is the way to do it.
Yes.
And that was something that you were doing in 1978 when you were coaching in Milwaukee and in Baltimore.
Yes.
How much has the art of coaching, there weren't books on coaching in the 50s or 60s, and a lot of it now is very, very akin to business, right? I mean, the business books, and look, Brian Billick's my partner, and Brian's written more books on coaching and life coaching and that sort of thing. But the coaches, the best coaches, the Phil Jacksons, the Pat Rileys, the Joe Torres, their coaching philosophies are what the Donald Trumps are using in the business world.
Exactly, and I think it was more personal. I think what's happened now, I think they like to talk in groups. They talk to people in groups, and you know, as a team. I don't think there's enough one-on-one. I mean, I personally, I learned a lot about coaching when I went into sales. And, you know, how many doors did you knock on? And from that, I learned that you'd have short-term goals and long-term goals. So I brought that into hockey. I would sit down with the players and they'd say, well, last year you scored 30 goals. What do you think you can get this year? And he'd probably say, I think I can get 50. I said, well, let's say you get 38. And now how many shots do you think you got to get every night to get those 38 goals? You know, he'd say, well, I said, how many would you get? We'll do 10 games. How many shots do you think? He said, oh, well, I'll get 8 or 9 shots a game, which would be 90 shots. I said, well, let's put down about 40. So I give him these short-term goals, something realistic.
I want to hit 420 in the big leagues.
Exactly.
No, let's just try to get to 275.
Exactly. So I learned that, and I think this one-on-one and having a reason to bring the players in outside of the fact that they made a mistake or to give them heck or to show them mistakes, you had a chance to talk to them about their own program. So I don't see a game within a game, I call it. And I don't think there's enough of that. Because I think if players have their own game within the game, naturally the whole team's gonna benefit. And obviously he will benefit. So as long as you're winning, no problem. But you want each player to be winning too.
No, I think it's a lot.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.